Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Pachow! 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 Pachow!
This is ridiculous.
Truck goes to the lake.
My daddy's wiener is big as a Coke can.
Cool story, bro.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
Morning! Why are you shaking like that?
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Friday,
I got a boner right now.
Richard Mullican.
Our listeners probably want to hear more about this rat coat.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of P3 Radio. I am Richard Mullican, joined by my co-host and best friend, Josh Briley. Say hey, Josh.
How's it going, everybody? How are you today, Richard?
Doing pretty good. Special edition of P3 Radio here on Facebook Live, something we don't do very often, but we're doing it today, Josh. And we have a very special guest about to be on the phone with us here in just a minute, Dustin Starr, talking about Memphis wrestling, television, all exciting news, especially for wrestling fans like me and you, right?
Exactly. Championship Wrestling. It's going to be live. Well, not live, but in Memphis.
Yes,
and
for the first time on TV in a long time. But before we get to that, we got a little bit of business to take care of. Josh, what are some of our sponsors that need a little help from us this week?
Well, the first one that I can think of would be tinyurl.com/P3Vista. Now, that's tinyurl.com, tinyurl.com, P3 Vista. And that's where, if you're a vape guy, you vape, you're going to go there and get your vapes for how much off?
Yeah, it's very cheap, and it helps out our show as well as P3 Vista, our Vista Vapors. It's for the vape fan. If you know somebody out there that likes to vape, it could be a good gift or a good present, but good birthday present. Also, we have a great spot for somebody that is a wine enthusiast. It's kind of like Netflix for, like we said, Netflix for winos.
It is the Wine of the Month Club. And if you sign up for the Wine of the Month Club, you're going to get at least 2 bottles of high-quality wine. Now, you can gauge your levels. You can go with a low-grade wine for, I think it's $25 a month, and you can go your mid or high level. It's all depending on what you want. But if you go to tinyurl.com/P3wine, you're going to get the hookup from P3 Radio.
And, of course, for all of our sports enthusiasts out there, go to our sponsor, Fans Edge. They're going to give you 25% off right now with a special promo code on all your orders. Josh, what was that code?
That code is SLIDER. And SLIDER will give you 25% off the entire store today only. That's SLIDER.
And you can visit them at tinyurl.com/P3sportswear. tinyurl.com/P3sportswear. And, of course, check out all of our shows, P3 Radio, all one word, on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, wherever you find your podcast. Look for us there. And we will be, all of our archives will be there. We will be every Monday with you for a new show, plus this one will come out live today. So if you're listening on Facebook Live right now and you want to go back and hear what happened on this interview, just type in P3 Radio and whatever you listen to your podcasts on. But now we have to get to the man of the hour, Josh.
Business at hand.
Joining us on the phone lines right now from Memphis, Tennessee, Dustin Starr. Dustin, welcome to P3 Radio, man.
Hey, man, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. It's almost 5 o'clock. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. On Wednesday, man, it's been a busy day already. I did Read to Achieve with the Grizzlies this morning and had some business meetings, a lot of business meetings lately, and then coming on here with you guys, man. Thanks.
Well, we are excited because we saw the press release yesterday, just like a few others, and we retweeted it on our Twitter of P3 Radio.
Thank you.
We've posted it on Pop Poncho here on our Facebook page. And we are excited. Memphis Wrestling coming back to airwaves here in Jackson, Tennessee and Memphis, April 6th. And what details can you give us on this?
Oh, man. So Championship Wrestling's back. I grew up watching it. I know you did, too. We all did.
yeah.
I talk to people at Redbirds games, at Grizzlies games, just, in the gym, always talking about Saturday morning wrestling. Why is there not a Saturday morning wrestling show? And so we partnered with United Wrestling Network, and we're thrilled to announce that Championship Wrestling, presented by Pro Shingle, is going to premiere WrestleMania weekend, Saturday, April 6th at noon on CW30 Memphis, and then also we'll be in the Jackson, Tennessee market as well. I believe that's CW39, and that will be on at midnight in the Jackson area. But yeah, man, we are so excited about this. We've gotten a really great response. People have been talking about it. Every single Memphis Grizzlies Grind City Wrestling Night, people talk about it, and we always pay tribute and pay homage, having the King and Superstar and Dave and Lance before he passed, and just Jimmy Hart and so many other stars. There is a huge wrestling following in Memphis, and so why not bring back something that's already a proven successful television show, polish it up for the new generation, and put it back on the air? And that's what we're doing with CW30. Super excited about it, man.
Well, we're excited too. It's been 10 years since Memphis Wrestling went off the air when it was airing on I forget. I think it was CW when it aired last time.
I think that's the network.
Gosh, it's probably even been longer than that, man. I mean, it was the Corey Macklin, right? The Memphis Wrestling home of rhythm and brews, and it's been so long. And the only thing I can think of is everybody turns to Jerry Lawler, and he's under contract with WWE. He's a busy guy. He can't go and shake the bushes and meet people about a new wrestling show. And so the opportunity came up. Believe it or not, we've been working on this thing for almost 2 years. And Dave Marquez, Maria and I, that's our partner from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and the United Wrestling Network. And he has a successful track record. He's got an unbelievable show that they just celebrated their 400th episode.
Wow.
And so basically, man, we've got some good partners here. And of course, Pro Shingle. I've got to give a big shout out. Go to proshingle.com. He covers the entire Mid-South, Mississippi, Tennessee. He definitely comes up there to you, Richard, so if you have any roofing problems. But, not only the fans, but local businesses, the sports teams here in Memphis, everybody is just excited that wrestling's here, because we get glimpses at the Redbirds games and at the Grizzlies games and things like that. But this will be a weekly show every Saturday at noon for 1 full hour. And also, Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling comes on at 11 o'clock on CW30. So you've got a 2-hour block of professional wrestling coming to Saturdays on CW30. It's unbelievable. So you got the classic stuff for an hour from 11 to 12, and then from 12 to 1, you can tune in as Maria and I will host Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. And we've got guys like Joey Ryan, Jack Swagger, Dave Arquette, all the superstars of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and the NWA champions. Willie Mack defends the national championship there. Nick Aldis, Cody, when he was NWA champion, he defended the title there. So a lot of familiar names that you've seen in WWE, and a lot of guys that you'll probably see in WWE someday will all be on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle.
Well, Dustin, let's be real here for just a minute. And I know the stigma with Memphis wrestling here as of late has not been one of a youth movement. Now, that is totally opposite of what you guys are bringing in when you debut on April 6th. This is going to be a newer, a younger version of what Memphis wrestling used to be, kind of, right? It's going to be more of a youth movement. It's not going to be your classic superstars. And I, like I said, no offense to those guys. They built the tradition. They built Memphis up. But you're not going to be looking at older guys in the ring from back in your – this isn't going to be your grandfather's professional Memphis wrestling, correct?
You cut out towards the end there, but I loved how you said youth movement. Who are you telling about a youth movement, Richard? Really? Come on, bro. No, man, but seriously, when Maria and I are in studio hosting there, we will have the opportunity to have guests in. I mean, we pay tribute and homage to Memphis wrestling every chance we get, man. Maria and myself, I mean, any chance we get, we're talking wrestling. And so to have those guys in studio as guests at some point, I'd love to have Dave Brown in studio. Who wouldn't want to be sitting at the desk with Dave Brown, man?
That'd be awesome.
So, yeah, we will acknowledge the history and the tradition, obviously, of Memphis wrestling and championship wrestling. But this show is going to be, as you say, a youth movement where you're going to have the top independent wrestlers right there on our program each and every week. And then also any events that happen, in or around Memphis. Say, for instance, the next Grind City Wrestling Night is March 20th and March 23rd. I'm hearing some big surprises are going to take place that week. It's like GCW Mania, 2 wrestling nights in 1 week. We would like to bring stuff like that to Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. So not just sharing, what's going on with the Championship Wrestling product in the ring, but then also around the Memphis area as well. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I tell you, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook from these Memphis Grizzly games. I saw Mick Foley not too long ago, and and there was a guy that got put through 2 tables by Grizz. So, I mean,
right.
You guys are showing that there is an audience for professional wrestling in Memphis because those clips were everywhere. Like I said, I saw it on like 2 or 3 major sports productions on Twitter, and I'm like, man, if these guys are covering this, Memphis wrestling could succeed, and thrive once again in Memphis.
Well, it definitely will, and just because there's not a ring that's set up in a studio with a live studio audience, that doesn't mean it's not a Memphis wrestling product or a new version of an older product. That's not what that means. It just means that studios are built much sleeker. They're smaller. They're more compact. You cannot fit a wrestling ring in there. There's insurance liabilities. There's not a television station really out there that wants to be in the wrestling business. Really, they want to have wrestling on their television program or on their network. And so we found a unique way to put together all the things that people love as far as wrestling and put it on a program for 1 hour every Saturday. And it's not going to be reruns. It's going to be brand new content. Storylines will continue just like the old days. You're going to have continuing storylines, new episodes every single week. I know everybody's asking about live events. Right now, we're just a television show, but there is down the line, obviously, come on, man, we're going to run some live events.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's at a casino or at a Minglewood Hall or, there's so many great places in Memphis. And, heck, man, we might set up a ring right in the middle of Beale Street. You never know. But we'll definitely have live events down the road.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, we are talking to Dustin Starr. Dustin Starr is all over Memphis. You can catch him at Redbird games. You can catch him at the Grizzly games. I mean, if you go to Memphis, you're going to see Dustin Starr somewhere. Even on CW30, has a show on there with Maria, his wonderfully talented wife, and they do a great job at CW30 and everywhere they go. So Dustin is definitely one of those main figures in Memphis right now. And if you're just joining us, he's talking about April 6th. 12 p.m. on Memphis CW30. They're going to start back with Memphis wrestling on TV again. It's going to be wrestling in Memphis on TV, which is something that hasn't been done in 10 years here, and it's going to be in Jackson too. So you're going to hit all your major markets, and you're going to hit your minor markets in between Jackson and Memphis that pick up those stations. So it's going to be a great thing for wrestling here in the South again.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really cool. Hey, all the way up to Jonesboro, all through Oxford, Tupelo, Jackson, Tennessee, man, it's a huge viewing area, so everybody. Now, also, if you're not in the viewing area, of course, we have our official YouTube page, and the episodes will be uploaded on YouTube. My son doesn't even watch TV anymore, guys. He watches YouTube, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. My daughter, I think she's seen more home videos from people on YouTube than we've actually made home videos. So that's the way that the medium's going nowadays, streaming and YouTube. But yeah, definitely we'll post that link on our page when that comes out as well, and definitely keep our audience up to date on all of those going-ons.
That will be really, really cool. Now, the United Wrestling Network, that's a whole lot of different wrestling promotions. Now, the program, is that going to feature just a select few of those, or pretty much it'll encompass the whole entire United Wrestling Network?
Well, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is syndicated in about 120 different television stations across the United States. They just celebrated their 400th episode. Yeah. Dave then went on to create Championship Wrestling from Arizona. He's always working on some new projects. And when he reached out with the idea of bringing a wrestling product to Memphis, we really had to kind of put our heads together here on the quality and the look, and just to make sure it looked professional. You know, it's really hard as far as production. And so with all that being said, it's the Hollywood program to where you get the Dave Arquettes, Brian Cage, you know, Swagger, Jazz defended the NWA Women's Champion there. So we will have that product instead of mixing it up. We want the fans to be able to not only learn these new wrestling characters, the ones they haven't heard of, but then also be able to follow the ones that they've heard of in the past and continue those storylines. And I know upcoming, man, I hope it's right around our launch, they're going to do a tournament to determine a number one contender for the 10 pounds of gold. Now, that's super cool because we'll be able to follow that story all the way through. And just think there's opportunities for Memphis wrestlers to be featured on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. Now, that might be an opportunity for a guy like a Derek King. It might be an opportunity for a guy like an Action Jackson. Or you might have the power couple go out to the ring at Oceanside Arena and perform there. So you never know. This thing is just getting started. I've been working on it a long time, got a lot of ideas. But we will be featuring the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood talent. And in the future, if there's a live event, those guys will be here too.
Now, you kind of answered my next question. That was going to be, are you and Maria going to be featured in the program? I know you'll be hosting, but as far as you in the ring.
Well, at this time, you never know what happens in studio, man. You might have somebody smash out your windshield in the parking lot, like Eddie Gilbert and Doug Gilbert did Jerry Lawler or whatever. You never know what might happen, but as of right now, we're just signed up for hosting duties, and nobody's going to Slap City just yet.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know, you talked about local talent, and we get this question a lot, and you might have more of an insight now. If a young guy come up to you and said, hey, I've always wanted to get involved in that, which way do you steer them? Which wrestling school do you recommend, or do you just tell them, hey, don't even think about it, or are you less grizzled than some of the veterans we know and we've talked to? Do you point them in the right direction and try to help them out? And so, what school do you point them to?
Well, first and foremost, I say, are you going to school?
Right.
Finish school. Finish school. I don't care how great you think you are. Finish school. First and foremost. Now that sounds preachy and crazy. Finish school. All right. First of all, the greatest trainer in the history of the world to me is Dr. Tom Pritchard. They have I believe it's called the Pritchard Jacobs Academy in Knoxville.
Yes.
Highly recommended. If you go to grindcitymedia.com, we have our Grind City Wrestling podcast there, and we had Dr. Tom on to talk about him and Glenn Jacobs, Kane, opening up their training school. And I think they were having the open house that night. And I worked with him in WWE Developmental. If you listen to Conrad and Bruce Pritchard's podcast, Something to Wrestle With, you'll hear all the stories about how, you know, Dr. Tom helped train The Rock. I mean, just the list is endless. When I was there, he was training Roman Reigns. He was training The New Day. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But that's a long drive if you're in Memphis or if you're in Jackson.
Right.
So it depends on how much you want it. But here locally, it's tough, man.
Yeah. And I tell you, I think Pritchard was instrumental in our boy Josh over here. His uncle, I think, used to work a lot, very closely with Tom Pritchard and Dr. Tom over in OVW. You know, Josh's uncle was Nightmare Danny Davis.
Oh, yeah.
We talked to him a few weeks back. And I tell you, now that Danny is kind of out of the business and moved to Florida, Dr. Tom has to be the one I would recommend as well. And we've had him on our show and talked to him, and he is just a stand-up guy. I think he's going to put you on the right path. And if you are interested in getting into professional wrestling, that would be who I would contact. Dustin, on this event coming up it's the TV premiere of Wrestling on CW 30. What can we expect for that first episode?
It's going to be a celebration. It's going to be a party. Come on, Richard. Championship Wrestling's back every Saturday at noon, just where we want it to be, just like we've asked for so long. And so you guys have to tune in. It's WrestleMania weekend, April 6th, noon, and we're going to be every Saturday after that. But, man, it's going to be a celebration. You can't have a celebration without, I don't know if they'll let me pop some bubbly on the set or not. I don't know if that's allowed on television. But we got to have a cake.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be decked out in a suit or something, and Maria, she's going to be wearing something that only my Maria could wear. But yeah, man, it's going to be a freaking party. We're going to be partying for the wrestling fans. We're going to be introducing our brand new spin on Championship Wrestling. And man, I just got to take a second to thank everybody, especially Pro Shingle, a professional roofing company. Go to proshingle.com. Sonic Drive-In has been awesome. Crosstown Dental Group. If you guys haven't checked out the Crosstown Concourse that was redeveloped here in Memphis a couple of years ago, man, this is like state of the art. It's like the undentist. Crosstown Dental Group is awesome. V3 Fights. I know you're into MMA, Richard.
Oh, yeah.
They're on board with us. Who knows? You might see some cross promotion there with Championship Wrestling climbing into the octagon. Platinum Jewelers, Gents Formal Wear in Arlington's going to make sure I'm always looking good. 745 Cash, Crossroads Arena, and we have a new addition. I'm proud to announce. You can hit the NWO theme music. We've got the new Wing Order, who is going to be the official wing sponsor of Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. So what about that, man? The New Wing Order. How cool is that name?
That is awesome.
Wing Order.
I tell you
New
what.
Wing Order.
New Wing Order.
I was going to ask you, what are the
like
chances? What are the chances that cake's going to end up on someone? If y'all have a cake there in the studio, what are the chances
thinking that too.
that cake is going to stay and completely intact and cut and delivered in nice little pieces?
Wrestling plus a cake. Come on.
All right. Don't give Maria any ideas or anything. Or, oh my gosh, you're right. Anytime you introduce a cake anywhere. So maybe scratch the cake. Maybe we do everything but the cake.
Maybe balloons
Yeah,
and buzzers or whatever.
Yeah,
they're
balloons and the little joy buzzer things. I tell you what, Dustin, where can they follow? We're not going to keep you all night. Like I said, we are excited though. We're super happy about this. Can't wait to see the premiere. It is April 6th on CW30 at 12 o'clock noon, 12 o'clock, April 6th, WrestleMania weekend. Dustin, where can they follow to get more information about this as it happens?
Yeah, man, can't wait to introduce our brand of Championship Wrestling. It's coming. I'm just waiting on it. But you can keep in touch and informed on the launch and, you know, introducing everything from our sponsors to our professional wrestlers and champions and all that kind of stuff. So follow us on Twitter at CW30 Wrestling, and you can go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Now, at the bottom there, you'll see a little piece where you can click, and you can enter just your name and your email address, and you can get weekly updates on what's going on with Championship Wrestling. And also it'll have featuring, you know, other offers and different things like that and upcoming events. You can always stay tuned. And then also on YouTube and on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook. It's just Championship Wrestling, but you can find it by at CW30 Wrestling. And, of course, we got to tell you to follow the United Wrestling Network. Man, my partner Dave, he's been awesome. He's the executive producer for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Can't wait to see the things that we do here in Memphis. But follow them at United W Network. And then you can follow CWF Hollywood or just go to HollywoodWrestling.com. It's a new day. It's a new Championship Wrestling, guys. I am freaking thrilled. Is it April 6th yet?
Not quite yet. We are 1 month away to the day from Championship Wrestling on CW30. Dustin, man, I want to thank you for being a part of P3 Radio today and this special P3 Radio edition. And hopefully we'll get you back on soon and talk some more wrestling with you.
Yeah. Hey, tomorrow, Thursday, our podcast drops. I usually don't announce who we're going to have beforehand. But right here, I'm going to say that WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler is going to join us on Grind City Wrestling. You can see it or hear it at grindcitymedia.com. We're going to be talking to him and see what he thinks about Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. So there's a little tease. Guys, thank you.
Well,
I appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you, Dustin, man. We're excited to see it. April 6th, CW30 in Memphis Wrestling back on Memphis airwaves. We're going to be watching that and very excitedly. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in today to our Facebook Live special report here at P3 Radio. For Josh Briley, this is Richard Mulligan saying thanks and good night.